Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm making a very famous Caribbean dish. It's called peas and rice, or we call it cook-up rice in Guyana. It's basically a one-pot dish with rice and a variety of vegetables, beans, and they usually use meat, but for me I'm using soya meat-free pieces. I have here some olive oil in a pan. And this is my soya meat-free pieces, which I'm going to be frying for a few minutes, but 3 to 4 minutes until it's brown. So I'm just going to brown these soya meat-free pieces off. Just going to give that a little stir. And I'll just season this with a little bit of salt at this stage and a little bit of black pepper. So I'll just go ahead and cover this and let this fry for about 3 to 4 minutes. In the meantime, I have here some chopped celery stalk, one carrot chopped, one red onions chopped, 2 hot chilies. I have here some parsley chopped and some fresh thyme. I also have some sauteed mushrooms, which is already cooked, so I'll be adding this in closer to the end of the dish. Here I have some red lentils, 1 cup of red lentils, which I've washed and drained. I'm using also 1 can of kidney beans, which I've washed and drained, and 1 can of chickpeas, which I've washed and drained. I'm also making this the low carb way. This dish I'm using long grain rice, but I've pre-cooked my rice and I've strained all the most of the starch away. So trying to make it low carb. Normally you will take the washed rice and add it when you add the vegetables, you'll add it at that stage, but I have pre-cooked my rice and strained away most of the starch because I wanted to make it low carb. So my soya meat-free pieces is nicely brown here. So we're ready for the next step. So I'll go ahead and add in my onions, my chilies, my celery, and my carrots. Just give that a stir and I let the vegetables cook for another 5 minutes or so. Before we move to the next step. I'm just going to go in here with 1 heaped tablespoon of my homemade green seasoning. Please check out my page for my homemade green seasoning recipe. And this has got everything in it. So all the herbs, you've got your coriander leaves, you've got your parsley, your thyme, your basil, you've got onions, you've got garlic, you've got chilies, olive oil, everything in is in the green seasoning. Do check out my video. So we just give this a good stir. We'll just go in with a little bit more salt at this stage. A little bit of peri seasoning. And a little bit more of black pepper. So our vegetables and beans is nicely cooked here. So at this stage, we're going to go ahead and add our sauteed mushrooms. These are already cooked, so hence we're adding it at this stage. Just going to give that a nice stir. And then we're going to be ready for the next step. So we're going to go ahead now and add our rice in, which, as I said, is pre-cooked and most of the starch is drained away. For this recipe, I've used 1.5 cups of long grain rice. Just going to give that another stir. So we've already gone in here with a few splashes of dark soy sauce and about 2 tablespoons of tomato puree. I'm just stirring that in to the rice and the vegetables and beans. Then we go in with some boiling water. Make sure it's enough to cover the rice and the vegetables and the beans. Let's give that a good stir here. Then we'll just cover this. At this stage, actually, we're going to add, before we cover this, we're just going to add our chopped parsley on our thyme. Give that a stir. And then we'll cover it. And let it simmer until most of the liquid has evaporated. So here, guys, here is our low-carb peas and rice, or cook-up rice. This is all finished now. Some people like to have it dried. I like mine a little bit moist. So I'll be switching off the cooker at this stage. This is so yummy, so yummy. A one pot of goodness, all in one pot. I'll go ahead and plate this up. Look at that, guys. Everything looking so yummy. The rice nicely cooked, beans, vegetables, and my soya meat-free pieces. This is a vegan dish. It is usually made with meat, but I'm making the vegan version. And if you don't fancy putting any soya pieces in here at all, you can just skip that step and just use the vegetables and the beans. This is so yummy, guys, so yummy. A bit of everything on the plate here. There is, guys, my low-carb homemade peas and rice or cook-up rice. I'm having this with a garden salad with some avocados. So yummy, nutritious, and vegan. Look at that dish. Got my garden salad here with my avocados. Yumminess on a plate. Hope you try this recipe, guys. Do like and share the video. Follow the step-by-step guide, and I see you in the next.